Hello and welcome to Just a Moment. My name is Kristen Harding with my very special guest, Aurora the Empath, who is returning today to give us some wonderful, advice and real life experience in how to protect your energy. So, everyone, please welcome Aurora the Empath.
Hello all.
Hello. So, how are you today?
Today is good. I'm out here in the 80-degree weather and the sunshine.
I envy your
A
location
little,
wherever it is.
it's a little unseasonable, but hey, I'm enjoying it.
Right? Oh, that's awesome. How has your week been?
Week has been interesting.
A lot of people have been, shall we say, overexerting themselves trying to help other people. Are you in that category?
I am definitely in that category.
I
I
thought so.
I would rather be on the helping end than the needing help end, though. So I can be
Right,
grateful for. I've been there, so I can
right.
be grateful for that. But it
Oh,
sometimes can get a little exhausting when you forget your own limits and you try to
mhm.
give too much of yourself. You have to step back and take care of yourself, or your body will kick you down and make that decision for you.
Well, speaking of feeling kicked down, that kind of perfectly leads into what I want to talk about because we've been around people that make us feel energized and happy and joyful. And then we've been around people that haven't. And in fact, we
Mhm.
feel funny or less energetic or weaker around them. Have you experienced this?
I have. I have. And, at first you don't notice it because the charm, the charisma, you're so happy, you feel special. And then the need begins. And you're always being drained and never refilled.
Right.
But those of us who have, those of you who have so much light, don't always notice it when someone starts to drain. But over time, it'll get stronger and it'll get worse.
Unfortunately, I've encountered those energy wars in my life, the ones
Mhm.
who don't seem to have any of their very own. So
Mhm.
instead of learning how to heal within themselves, they just try to make you feel bad or guilt trip you or manipulate you or, just somehow or another change who you are at your very core. And the key, I think, is first to acknowledge that that's happening.
Mhm.
Look at your energy when you're around certain people. How do you feel? Are you
How do
feeling
you feel?
happy,
How do you feel
inspired?
afterwards? Are you
Yeah.
sick?
Yeah. Did they drain your energy? Did they um when you offered a positive comment, did they turn it around on you? Did they try to unsettle you? Did they try to knock you off your center?
Mhm.
Those seem to be little tricks that manipulators do. Would you
And
agree?
there's a purpose. Yes, and there's a purpose for it.
What's the purpose?
Well, first of all, I'm not sure if people are born that way or become that way. If
Right.
they can heal themselves and raise their own vibration, or if that's not physically possible at this point for them. I don't know, but I know that we can protect ourselves.
Yes.
I know that they're trying to lower our vibration in order to feed on it. They can't feed on the higher vibrations that
Right.
we emit when we're happy, when we're joyful,
Right.
when we have a positive outlook on life, when we're grateful in life. Our vibrations rise and they can't use that.
Hmm.
So instead of raising themselves up in order to use that. They have to bring your vibration down because it doesn't diminish the power of the output. It
Right.
just changes the channel, so to speak.
Well, yeah, it's almost like AC/DC, you know? We are
Mhm.
AC and they are DC and they have to change our current so they can use it.
Yes, yes.
And the
And
key
they
is
do that.
learning how not to let them.
Hmm. Hmm.
So would you say in your lifetime that you've encountered a narcissist or two?
Um, I would say that empaths seem to attract narcissists like a magnet. I'm not sure if they can feel the ease with which they can use our energy because we're empathic, or if it's because we tend to be more understanding of their flaws and think that they don't know any better and think that once they are educated, they will know better so that they will do better. But we're almost always disappointed in that fashion.
Right?
And I have known some short term and I have known some long term. I've known some long term that I did not know was a narcissist. And
It's hard. It's so hard because they can be so darn charming and sweet and they like almost can predict what you need to hear and they'll bring you so high up and then they'll tear you so far down. Can I go into like the definition of what a narcissist is or where it came from?
of
Okay.
course,
So in ancient Greece, Narcissus was a hunter known for his beauty. It was noticed by everyone how beautiful this man was. He rejected everyone, though. He wouldn't have a female or a male lover. He eventually saw his true love, but he didn't realize that it was a reflection in the water.
mhm,
And so, tragically, not realizing the reflection was himself, he was so entranced he died from forgetting to eat or drink. I mean, something so basic, but he didn't want to be parted even a moment from his love. And some say that he beat his chest so hard when he realized that he could never be with his love that a flower, a purple flower, grew out of his chest, and that's where the narcissus comes from. And I love that flower. It's a beautiful flower.
wow. Wow,
Uh huh.
that um that's quite a story.
Well, that's where
That's
narcissist comes from. And so many
mhm,
people don't realize that they are how do I even say it? They're self-aggrandizing, self-fulfilling. They think they are just the biggest entity on this planet, and it's so sad because
yes,
they are so charming. They really are. And if they would ever just learn how to create their own light, they might
put it to
actually
good
get
use.
healed.
Yes, yes. That's part of the draw of the narcissist. They are capable, and everyone around them can see that they are capable,
Hmm.
but they're so charming, and they've got an answer for everything that you don't notice until you've tried to help and help and help, and it does no
Oh, I
good.
agree. I agree.
At some point, you notice they don't really want it,
Hmm. It was just words,
just to
words
make
to
you
get
feel
you to
special,
help them,
make you
right?
feel special and needed and almost obligated in a way
Right.
because Well, only you're the only one on this planet that can help me in this particular manner, whatever it may be. That
I'm
I'll
sorry, you are sincere, and it is sincere. They really do this, but I am so different in my observation now that I can't even listen to you say that without laughing.
it was hard for me to say it,
I
but it's the
bet it
truth.
was. Oh my
But
goodness.
I think my theater experience kind of helped with that because that was
Well,
difficult. But it's true. That's the sad part. They honestly believe it.
mhm.
There's you can tell yourself, anyone's capable of it, you can tell yourself a lie so many times in so many different ways, fill it out like a vision. That will be what you remember.
Well, the law of 21 days. If you do one thing differently for 21 days, you've broken a habit, you know? If you do
Because
one
that
thing intentionally for 21 days, you've established a habit.
do you know why that is?
Why?
It allows the synapses that are wired together to break and form new bridges.
Very cool. Our brains are so wonderful.
They
So,
are fascinating.
narcissism is considered a mental illness, and
It is.
minds fascinate me. So, I looked into what is a narcissist.
Hmm.
And so, by definition, they are someone with a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. They emerge in early adulthood. They overestimate their abilities while devaluing the contributions of other people. They find ways to blame other people or society, anything but themselves. They believe that they are very special or unique and surround themselves with people that they deem are special and unique. And I'm going to pause right there because that's one of the ploys. They make
Hmm.
you feel special and unique
And needed.
and needed. Yeah. Um, a narcissist requires excessive admiration. They are always preoccupied by how they are perceived by people and feel shocked and disappointed when people don't lay on the flattery. In a love relationship, a narcissist will love you as long as you are idolizing them. They seem so lovely and wonderful until you assert yourself. Then you will see a mean streak that you didn't see before, and it's scary. Do you agree?
It is. It's scary. It's disappointing. It's sometimes it's gut wrenching, the realization, because it creates a domino effect in your brain. Suddenly, many things that didn't make sense before suddenly do. And you feel, you end up feeling a little bit disgusted with yourself and a little bit ashamed. And that's why we have a hard time asking for help when we extricate.
Yeah.
How could we have let it get this far?
How
What can
didn't we
become
see it?
incrementally normal is amazing. What can become incrementally normal.
Right? Yeah, that was my thing. Why didn't I see this? What I counsel ladies to stand up. I counsel men to stand up if it's a narcissist or a manipulator or even an energy vampire. Stand up. And here it was happening to me and I wasn't even aware of it. But I found out that's one of the tricks. They do this like I don't know, sort of dance verbally that you aren't aware until you're out of it that they were manipulating you. Do you agree?
They, I totally agree. They keep you so off your game, so focused on this tragedy, that at the moment, that whatever tragedy drama of the day is all encompassing, all you can think about. You have no spare thought for what happened yesterday or last week or last month until it becomes an undeniable pattern. That's when the emotions start to fade. And over time, when the fact that they are wronging you no longer hurts, that's when you have broken all of their spell over you.
Right.
They can no longer feed off of you. They can no longer manipulate you. And that is when, like you said, you assert yourself, you see the mean streak,
Yeah.
and it is scary.
Uh, because they have a sense of entitlement. The rules
And
don't apply to them, and it presents itself as being disrespectful to authority figures, national heroes. They will make you accommodate them and show no appreciation for your kindness. So it's all about them, 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 them.
that's right. If you love me, you will do this, no matter how much it hurts you, because you love me and I need it. And you're the only one on the planet that can do this for me.
Wow, why can't you do it for yourself?
Hmm. Now it's time to change the subject.
Right?
And the
But like,
notes.
I'm giggling because I'm like, you and I both know they love, absolutely love to get you off center. And when you come back with a, why can't you do it yourself? Or you have two arms, two hands, two legs. Why can't you get up and do it? Oh,
Mhm.
they're shocked,
At that
right?
point, we'll go to amazing and ridiculous lengths to prove a point.
Mhm. And convolute
Amazing.
things. They do not stick to the subject. They bring things up from 20 years ago if they can.
Any way to make it your fault.
Right.
If they can't make it your fault, they can at least not make it theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right here it says a narcissist lacks empathy. They have no interest in the struggles or pain of others, but will talk at length about their troubles and wonder why we don't care.
yes, yes. Over time, it's noticed that these troubles are self inflicted
Yeah.
in
Almost
order to
always,
always be in need.
right? And that feeds right into number 6, which is a narcissist is envious of others and believes others are envious of them. They are always comparing themselves to others. If they do achieve success, they enjoy thinking that people are envious of them.
Yes, because in a narcissist's mind, they are not the aberration. They believe everyone thinks the way that they do. We are simply lying about it to be polite in society. We have all signed a social contract. Their motivations, they can't imagine that ours would be any different from theirs. It's not as if they, I wonder, with the idea that it's born, it's some sort of a defect in the brain. You're born
Right?
with it. Did you ever watch Star Trek Voyager?
I believe so.
There was an episode where Janeway had rescued a bunch of criminals that were on their way to be killed, and Seven of Nine healed one with her nanites because he was injured. And as a side effect, it healed the issue in his brain, and suddenly he felt guilt for the first time in his life.
Yeah,
I don't know that they're capable of thinking any other way unless because of the structure of their brain.
right?
Perhaps the structure of the synapses over time because we can change them.
Hmm. The next one says, and again, I'm reading because I'm just very interested in the behavior of this, because we don't really talk about this. We don't really talk about the things that really can affect us energy wise
No, we
until it
don't.
comes up in such a way that it's like, all right, let's talk about it.
Now that
So,
you're having a problem and you're profusely bleeding, I could have told you how to protect yourself from that stab, but now that you've been stabbed, let's talk about how to stop that bleeding.
yes, please. So,
Hmm
a narcissist behaves in an arrogant or haughty manner, acting arrogant or snobbish while complaining about the stupidity of others. I'd say that's a pretty good red flag.
It really is.
And they are so preoccupied with fantasies of success and the perfect mate that they want power, respect, and success, and they pick a partner based on physical attractiveness rather than their kindness or compassion. So all they want is a trophy, right? How dare we speak, right? So,
Yes.
in a way, it's a twisted, backwards compliment if
You're a
a
pretty bracelet.
narcissist should choose you, right?
That's all you are, a pretty bracelet.
Yeah.
In public. At
Hmm.
home, you are the slave who does everything and carries the entire mental load, keeping the home afloat
Yep.
while dealing with disaster and drama after disaster and drama.
Because they want a trophy partner that reflects on them and elevates their own self image.
Yes,
But don't you
they
dare
have to
speak up.
constantly test that partner, test that
Hmm.
partner's loyalty, push the envelope
Yep.
to see how far does this love go.
Right.
Because if she truly loves me, she'll do this. Because she did this for another guy. She told me, and he's
You
not
know,
weak,
and
so she'll do even more for me.
we do that without realizing it. We
Yes, we
give away information as to how to attack us when we
because
talk about our stories from the past,
we think nothing of it. We think of it as being open and honest with our partner, who we assume is being open and honest with us, because why wouldn't you be?
right?
Why wouldn't everyone want an open and honest 50-50, 60-40, whatever it is, agree upon it, be honest if that makes you happy. If it doesn't, there are so many other fish in the sea. One of
Right?
them will want what you want. Don't
But they
don't
have
try.
to try and change you, you know?
Yeah. They want to make a shark into a tuna. No, you need to go find yourself another shark.
Right? Well,
Let
a
this tuna
narcissist,
wallow in its own feces. Go find its own shark. Go find your own shark.
a narcissist takes advantage of others. If you work for one, they will work you into the ground without giving you the respect or compensation you deserve. Um, I really relate to this. How about you?
You do. You do.
So, bottom line here is avoid, if possible, once you identify that this person is a narcissist, avoid them. Don't feed into their energy. Avoid them. If you cannot,
Because
there are
sometimes you
some
can.
things. There are some things that we can do. Do you want to go into the things that we can do, or do you want to go into narcissist versus manipulator? What would you like to do?
I would think we should clarify narcissist versus manipulator,
Okay,
although protection works on both.
right. So, narcissist versus manipulator. Narcissists have an inflated sense of self, while manipulators use deceptive tactics to control and influence others for their own gain. Narcissists follow a predictable cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard. Manipulators use guilt tripping, gaslighting, and playing the victim to influence others. They take advantage of others to achieve their own ends. They exploit kindness. They use emotional manipulation to control and influence others. Malignant narcissism is an an antisocial behavior, paranoid traits, and egosyntonic aggression, manipulation, a self centered act of skillfully controlling or influencing others to their own advantage through unfair or deceptive means. And I had to look up what egosyntonic meant because I was like, egosyntonic aggression, what's that? Well, they don't see their behavior as being problematic. It aligns with their core beliefs and values, and they don't see the harmful effects of their actions. They're comfortable with their aggressive tendencies, and they are very unwilling to change them. Do you agree?
I agree. That goes back to it's just their thought process. It's not as if they consider many different options and settle on the worst. The worst is the only thing that pops into their head. So why would they think it's any different for anyone else? They would
Wow,
assume the worst is going to pop into our heads, so they've got to be prepared for that.
right? Well, did you know that manipulus, it comes from, or manipulation comes from the Latin, the manipulus, and it means handful. So deceit, coercion, and misrepresentation to sway the behavior or perception of others through unfair, deceptive means. That's what manipulus means from the Latin.
Now, what was that? Something narcissist?
Malignant narcissism,
Malignant.
antisocial behavior, paranoid traits, and egosyntonic aggression. Do you know anybody who's been aggressive with you when they didn't or you didn't see their point of view immediately?
I have. I've known a few. I married one.
How did you handle that?
Mm.
Did
It
you,
was
I mean, did you, in the beginning, did you deflect?
in the beginning, they're very good actors.
Mhm.
In the beginning, there are no red flags. In the beginning, they've got all the right words. They are supportive. They have beautiful dreams and promises, and for a while it's kept up, but over time, once the comfortability sets in, that mask starts to slip. And because it's an aberration at first, you try to be understanding and figure out, well, what's bothering? How can I help? Something's obviously bothering. We're not realizing that's just who that person is. The mask has simply slipped. We
Right,
think something that we can fix is wrong,
right.
and we can't fix it, but it
Well,
takes a while to figure that out.
part of being an empath is that we feel things so deeply, and that we also put our um, ethics
Mhm.
and morality accidentally on other people that might not have earned it.
Yes,
Have you noticed?
I have.
We wa- we want them to be so what they could be that we don't see what they are,
Because why wouldn't they want to be the best version of themselves? Why wouldn't anyone want that? I don't understand not wanting to be the best version of yourself and striving for it every day. You're never done until you're dead. You should
right?
learn and improve every day. Every day. We're
Every day is a gift,
we all waste time like somebody's making more of it.
right? Every day is a gift, and we don't know what tomorrow holds.
That's
And
right.
that perfectly leads into this because I thrive, and so do you, in an atmosphere, an environment of peace. But they want to create a toxic environment and they want to foster tension and mistrust and conflict. And they play the victim or they use guilt tripping as a form of emotional manipulation, causing others to question their perceptions and even sometimes their sanity. And that's gaslighting.
It
That's
is.
gaslighting.
It is.
And there are consequences to their victims that they're not even aware of. And those consequences you and I have both fought valiantly
Mhm.
to overcome.
It
So if I
was.
say, if Aurora, if I say, did you have self doubt?
Oh, definitely. I
Did you feel
questioned my sanity on a few occasions, yes.
did you feel confused?
Beyond belief.
Did you have
Beyond.
anxiety attacks?
I did.
Did you feel powerlessness?
Yes, helpless.
Were you always struggling to break free from the manipulator's control?
Once I figured out he was manipulating, yes, before that I was constantly struggling to fix the problem.
Do you know that those are all signs of PTSD? We literally, both of us, are survivors of PTSD just because we allowed someone into our lives that should not have been in there.
I wonder
Isn't that
if
wild?
I wonder if PTSD can be healed by raising all of our vibrations. I think part of that is perhaps certain vibrations are stuck and it keep
Well,
and out of sync because of that. They're stuck low.
and we have to break that karma.
We
We
do.
have to release ourselves from all people, places, and things that karmically bind us. And we cannot consent to anything that is not of our highest good.
That's right. Because only what we consent to can affect us.
Right.
We're not taught the power of our convictions, the power of our mind, the power of our will. But it's it's there.
And another thing that helped me anyway is realizing they use others without remorse.
Everyone and everything is a tool.
Yep. A narcissist will use gaslighting, projection, and silent treatment to control and confuse their victim. Been there?
Yes, that
Me too.
that last one, silencing.
Yeah. The
That's
silent
almost
treatment?
you feel like you're on mute.
Yeah. Because if you even try to say, look what a beautiful day it is, they'll find something wrong with it.
Mhm. Why they're so happy that it's wonderful for us while they suffer for this reason or that reason.
Well, what I did was I set some boundaries. I got those boundaries walked all over. I set more boundaries. Same deal.
Hmm.
Then I said, maintain the boundary. And I started working on myself and looking at, is any of what they are saying about me true? And it wasn't. I even checked with a couple friends just to make sure, hint, hint. But no, it wasn't me. I was being manipulated. I was being gaslit. And I was not setting a strong enough boundary and being assertive enough. Well, recently I was assertive enough, and I have proof. But that's something that you have to do. You have to with a narcissist. The assertiveness and emotional detachment
Hmm.
will help you deal with them because they're not working on the same, let's say, protocol that we are.
Logic.
Agree?
Yes, it's logic. You have to be logical about the situation and not allow them to change the subject or make you upset.
Right.
If it takes making notes so you can just hold wherever you are in your thoughts while they finish trying to change the subject, and then just pick right back up where you left off.
Right? Well, let's do that. Let's pick right back up where we left off and have a little break, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, dear, for being here. Okay, we'll be back in just a moment.
Looking for breathtaking photography that speaks for itself? Whether it's the raw beauty of nature, the sleek professionalism of corporate imagery, or the infinite wonders of the sky, Donovan Pudoka captures it all. With over 10 years of experience, Donovan's lens doesn't just take pictures, it tells stories. His work is perfect for travel publications, corporate branding, artistic prints, or anyone who appreciates stunning photography. If you need high-quality images that elevate your project, Donovan Pudoka delivers. Have we sparked your interest in Donovan's work? Check it out at matrixminds/Pudoka. My eye promises you, you will not be disappointed.
Welcome to Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where magic meets the mundane and the extraordinary becomes everyday. Are you ready to gift yourself with the whispers of ancient power stones? To the feel and hear the echoes of our ancient past? Dive into a world where each pendant tells a story, where rare stones hold secrets known only to the universe itself. At Crystal Cove, our collection isn't just jewelry. It's a gateway to a realm of mysticism and wonder. Let the shimmering opal guide you through twilight dreams, or embrace the fiery energy of the sun with our exquisite amber pendants. Each piece, handcrafted by the hands of a true mystic who understand the language of the earth and the fire of one's heart. At Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, we believe that every soul deserves to sparkle. Whether you seek solace in the calming embrace of amethyst or wish to dance with the vibrant hues of turquoise, our collection holds the key to unlocking your inner magic if you allow it to be so. Visit us today and discover the pendant that speaks to your soul. Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where the beauty of our amazing earthy realm meets the magic of the cosmos.
Hey there, Hunter. Go check out our friends at Colorado Custom Game Calls. They are all about creating a high-quality, custom, unique game calls at an affordable price. They are here for hunters that can't and won't pay upwards of $180 to $200 per game call. They pride themselves on giving their customers the opportunity to not only purchase an affordable and high-quality call, but to customize their game call to their liking. So listen up and go check them out. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. They got calls for all type of game, and all the game calls can be custom made to your own likeness. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. Tell them Matthew sent you from the Matrix Minds.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again.
We're back with Just a Moment and our very special guest, Aurora the Empath. We have a couple questions here, and I'm just going to read them. The first one says, and I promise we're going to get to this. What do you do if you're surrounded by energy vampires or narcissists? I can't do it anymore. What would you suggest, sweetie?
First of all, I would suggest you shield yourself, your home, and your town. 3 layers or more work best. Now, what I mean when I say shield, everyone has the ability to control their own aura. It's
Right?
not something we're taught to do, but if you can visualize and you can focus and you can see it in your mind and feel it and know that it's true, you can create a shield around yourself. I personally use the image in my mind of an eggshell.
Okay.
I put my intention into the eggshell that it is semi-permeable to allow only what is good and healthy and positive for me and mine in, but nothing harmful. It
Right.
also allows anything negative, harmful to be sucked out.
Right. I do
I
something I do something similar, but I visualize white light with rainbows all around it. So, I'm sending out that good energy and none of the negative energy can come on in and nothing can feed off that because it's love energy.
and your rainbows actually transmute. I don't go to the extent of transmuting. You turn the negative into positive, the
That's my
unhealthy
job,
into
ma'am.
healthy, bouncing it off. Anyone can
That's
do that.
yeah, that's
It's
my job, ma'am.
personal, but that's what I would suggest you start with that. And I would also suggest that you guard your thoughts and your words. You have to remember your thoughts have power. Your
Yes.
words have even more power. We
Oh,
live in a
indeed.
world of a universe of vibrations, and words are vibrations. Thoughts are as well, but not near as strong as
Right.
words. Um, if
Inside
you
your head.
feel, I'm sorry,
Go ahead. No, that's okay. Keep going.
if you feel that you are being drained and you know who's doing it, or even if you don't know who's doing it, what's happening is they're actually tapping into your aura because you haven't solidified it. You haven't
Right.
put yourself a shield. It's open because that's we're supposed to be open to the world. You know. But if you're being attacked, you can solid that up and in your mind visualize their attacking tendrils being forced out of your aura and go back to wherever they came from.
I like that.
At that
I
point, you'll need to heal your aura. If you've been long-term affected by an energy vampire, then you need to recharge yourself. It's going to take you a while to heal unless you recharge yourself. And you can do that just by standing barefoot in the ground, hugging a tree.
playing music,
Yes, anything that brings you up and lifts your
right?
vibrations. Higher vibrations heal.
Right? Well, Caroline Shepherd here says, I married one of those people. I separated from them or from him in 2021 after 14 years together. And I imagine it took you a little while to feel normal again. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you agree. Um, and then Caroline also says, Chuck, you're not alone. I am surrounded by them also. And Michelle Espinosa's here. Hello, my dear. Michelle is a mentor and she's a shaman, a true shaman. And she says, this is why it is so very important to know thyself. And
Yes.
then, and then she says, these type of relationships have been surfacing more and more because we need to heal ourselves. And I
She's
agree.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. We can't heal it if it doesn't come onto the surface and we don't know.
And then she says, yes, the sky is the limit on what you create.
That's right. That's right. Once we understand ether and what it really is, look at those old books on the periodic table before it was taken off.
Right?
Then you'll
And
really understand how much we can create.
Carolyn says, yes, I have trust issues now. Well, of course you do. Your
Yes,
trust bank was totally depleted.
you can't trust yourself. How can you trust anyone else? I still have trouble trusting myself.
Yeah, because
And
we
mine
have been
wasn't as long as
gaslit.
14 years, but my late husband did a number on me. And the fact that I didn't see it when it was happening, it causes me to not trust my own character judgment
Yeah.
when it comes to any future relationships.
Well, I noticed with myself that in the beginning, when I was first contemplating whether I ever wanted to be married again, and I met my now husband, and we've been together for 24 years, but I found myself gritching in my head about things that he never did.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do them, but they were still bugging me. But
Yeah.
if I hadn't healed those gritching thoughts in my head, I might have projected that onto him, not realizing what I did, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because we are so wounded, we just expect that everyone is going to treat us badly. And that is part of being gaslit
Yeah.
because they manipulate you to the point of almost near insanity by using psychological methods, and you start questioning your own sanity or your own powers of reasoning,
Yes.
and it leads to confusion and loss of confidence and self-esteem. It causes uncertainty, and it actually can make you dependent on the person who's hurting you.
Because you can no longer effectively communicate with anyone else. It's the isolation and the incremental change of what is normal.
Because
It
you speak
changes your
Pat,
own thought process and it makes you difficult to understand by
right?
anyone who is not in the same situation.
Because you speak Pat, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I speak
And that's
that.
what they do. You know, they make you seem like you're the only one that can help them because you're the only one that would ever understand them because you're just so darn special.
Yes, you're so special and irreplaceable. Irreplaceable
Until
and
they
loved
replace
and
you.
adored. Mm,
Until they
mm,
replace you, you know? And then it's
mm.
like, wow, that didn't take long, did it?
And then you have always been evil.
Oh, yeah.
There was never a good day. I have to acknowledge there were good days with my late husband. I wouldn't have stayed if there weren't.
Right?
They give you just enough good days to keep you wanting more
Right.
and thinking that you would hit that magical combination that day and you go over it in your head and over it in your head and over it in your head and over it in your try to figure out what it was. And it wasn't. It was just they were tired,
Yeah.
didn't want to play that day, give you a day.
Because that's all we are. We're just entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, how do we protect ourselves from a narcissist? Number one. Number one suggestion, and that's all these are, is just suggestions, because this is for entertainment purposes only.
Absolutely.
So we have to decide what you will or will not accept from them, and then stick to your boundary. Do you agree?
I agree. And
Make it, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, make it clear what you are willing to tolerate.
Yes. Yes.
Learn to say no to requests that will
Mm-hmm.
drain your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Draw a line beyond which you cannot extend yourself. Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Distance yourself. Block any communication with them. Get rid of the narcissist as soon as possible, especially if they are abusing you. And that means with words, looks, actions, silence, any of those. If they're trying to control you, ask yourself if that's love or if that's control,
That's right.
right?
And if there's
And
anyone in your life, brother, sister, children, mother, father, ask yourself, would I think it's okay for someone else to put my loved one through this?
I did that.
No
I
matter
did that.
what the reason, whether they're having a bad day or a bad week, they stubbed their toe, they, no matter the reason.
Right. If you wouldn't want your most precious person on this earth to go through what you're going through, get yourself out. Because we have to be our most precious person to ourselves before we can love anybody else.
And if
Right?
that person truly tries to convince you that they love you, ask yourself, if they really love me, then why are they okay watching me suffer, causing
Mm-hmm.
me to suffer when there are other options?
Right.
You should not have to ask to not be
Right.
made to suffer. You should not have to beg for your needs to be met.
Yep.
If that person loves you, they should want to meet your needs. They should not want to ever see you suffer.
Right.
They should do everything in their power to make sure you don't suffer, not play games in order to find out if you'll do everything in your power to alleviate their suffering, supposed suffering.
And see, that goes into this because you need to see them for who they are,
Yes.
not what you want them to be. And how we can defend is we can respond to them, but don't react because they want you to react. And
They
you
do.
have to build a very strong support system because yours has been knocked to smithereens. And you have to educate yourself about these different narcissistic or manipulation or even energy vampire disorders so that you understand that we are prey, but we
Yes.
don't have to be. Because once we start advocating for ourselves and we build our own self-esteem, they're not interested in us anymore.
They're on to the next.
Yeah,
Part of what a
absolutely.
narcissist does is they try to eliminate your support system. They will alienate your friends, they will alienate your family, and they will claim innocence and victimization so that they are your only support system.
Right.
Sometimes they won't even let you talk on the phone by yourself.
I've noticed that. I've seen that happen. Well, we're getting close to the end here, so let's go through some tips to disarm, shall we?
Yes.
Number one, keep your cool. Do not press their argue button. If you lose your cool and end up fighting, they will pin you down as the bad person, so don't react. I know it's hard, but just don't react. Do you agree?
I agree.
Number 2, avoid feeding their ego. If you don't feed their ego and see them for the magical things that they think they are, they'll go find someone else that does.
Yeah.
Don't take responsibility for their actions. You are not responsible for their thoughts and feelings. Do not be guilt tripped or manipulated. Do not take the blame and ignore them, and they will move on. Do you agree?
I agree. I agree.
Number 4 is avoid ultimatums. Communicate your boundaries, but do it without ultimatums. Because you're giving them negative attention. And you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, well, they're giving me an ultimatum, so I can give them an ultimatum. No. I remember
Yes.
one time with my current husband, I said, now this is after I healed quite a bit, but I said, well, sweetheart, you don't have to follow anything I say or do. You don't even have to do anything I want you to do. But why would you expect me to stay with someone who doesn't want to make me as happy as I want to make you? And he didn't have anything to say to that, and we get along really, really well.
Absolutely.
So let's see, we don't take responsibility for their actions, avoid ultimatums, don't give them negative attention, change the subject if they start to act out. I've seen you do that. I've literally watched you um,
Mm-hmm.
by not reacting prevent someone from having a hissy fit. I was
Yes.
so impressed, just so impressed. And
Thank you.
then the last one is be empathetic. Well, I think there's a couple more. Be empathetic. Try to understand why they think a certain way about specific things and use that information to confront them on their behavior,
Yes, and remain positive.
right?
Don't let them drag you down to their level because that's the whole point. Lower those vibrations.
Right?
Mhm.
Always remember their nature. Their nature, behavior, and personality disorder has nothing to do with you. And you are in no way responsible for their behavior. Whatever they may say about you is not true.
Yes, that's true. It's not personal. It's not as if they think one individual is an idiot. Everyone who's not them is an idiot.
Right.
So it's not personal.
hmm So maintain clear boundaries. Do not give in to their whims. Never say or commit to something you have no intention of doing. Be watchful.
Mhm.
Narcissists are unable to distinguish between entitlement and intrusion. As a result, they may use manipulation tactics such as gaslighting, stonewalling, demanding, tricking, or assertion to get what
Mhm.
they want. Do not let them dominate or overpower you. If a narcissist crosses the boundaries, you must promptly show them their place, even if it means legal action. And I hope it doesn't come to that. I really do. But
I
if
hope
it's
so too.
necessary for somebody to take legal action because they've been bullied, they've been exposed to gaslighting, they've been harmed
Mhm.
by words from people that once said that they love them, I mean, that is so classic betrayal, don't you think?
It is. It is. And if it crosses the legal line, then by all means, one should.
Right,
Yes.
right. And the very last and the most important, well, no, there's three more. Last one on this page is accept that you cannot change their behavior. This will diminish your expectations and give them less power to trouble or manipulate you emotionally. If they have no reaction, they will stop.
Yes.
Number 10, don't try to win. I made this mistake last night, but I don't regret it. Don't try to win. Don't talk to them if you think you might lose your cool. I did. Every time you want to fight back, remind yourself that their behavior is their problem.
Mm-hmm.
Without our consent, they cannot put us down. And I would add challenge. If someone's trying to put you down, challenge them. Really?
Yes.
Really?
Make them repeat it. Pretend you
Yeah,
didn't hear it. Make them repeat it. It's never as funny the second time.
right? Can you say that again, please? If a narcissist interrupts or dismisses your opinions instead of arguing, change the subject and or walk away. By not reacting, you maintain your peace and avoid fueling their behavior. And it's really important, this next one, ignore them. Really, ignore them at times. If they aren't in your close circle of friends, and quite honestly, most of us don't need a narcissist as a friend. So
Yeah.
if they're not in your close circle of friends, the best way to disarm is to ignore them. It shows that you are not interested in their attention um, or in their attention-seeking behavior, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
number 12 here says, build your own self-esteem. Self-care is not selfishness. We can't pour from an empty cup. Recharge to be present for the people who do care and that we care about. But don't put yourself last. That's what they want you to do.
Yes. Absolutely.
Now, here's just a few more things. We're a little over time. I'm going to have you come back again. You are just so wonderful.
Oh, I think we can do that.
So, let's see. Verbal defense. Here we go. Number 1. I cannot control how you feel about me.
That's right.
Number 2. I do not like how you speak to me, so I will not engage or argue with you.
Yes.
Number 3. Your anger is not my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4. I'm sorry you feel that way. Number 5. We both have the right to differing opinions, so let's agree to disagree,
Absolutely. That is so important.
right? Number
So
6.
important.
I can do what I want to, regardless of what you think I should do. And if they interrupt you, I need you to not yell or interrupt me. Number 8. If you cannot stop, I will leave this conversation. Number 9. I have explained my view. I'm unwilling to continue this conversation if you disrespect me.
That's right. There's never a need for that.
Number 10. I do not deserve to be spoken to in the manner that you are speaking to me. Number 11. What is it that you want to hear from me?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you look at them and say, okay, or I understand, it might disarm them enough so that you can actually get out of that conversation.
Yes.
Number 13, misunderstanding my boundaries is not my responsibility.
That's right.
And number 14, I know what happened and how I feel about this situation, because they will try to make it so that you see their reality. But you
Mhm.
know what happened and you know how you felt. Don't doubt yourself.
That's right.
And number 15, which is mine and Aurora's very favorite, I am okay with being misunderstood by you.
That's right.
Isn't that awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to give you 10 minutes so that you can talk about whatever you want to.
Oh, sweetheart, I think we are overdue, and I think we'll just have to come back to this and continue where we left off.
Awesome. I love it when you say that.
And I mean it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I will contact you immediately after we leave here and just make sure that you get home safely.
Yes,
But that
ma'am.
is all for now. That is all for now, dear lights. Again, Aurora, thank you. So that's all for now, my dear friends. Thank you for joining us. Never forget that you are amazing. You are loved. Be well, be safe out there. And I'll see you on the next show. Bye.
Next time.